God morning and good morning. Welcome to another episode of Talking Cancer, My Journey, My Way. I am your host, Luis Lopez. Top of the morning. Thank God for the wake up. Thank God for the wake up. Thank God for the wake up. Well, hello. Thank you for everyone who is tapping in today. I truly appreciate you every day, and continue to follow this journey. Just remember just to like, subscribe, or follow, please. That helps out the show so much by spreading the awareness and things like that. So definitely handle that. Well, today is I'm going on part two of the consent form. It's a long form. It's a 21-page form. So, we'll just kind of go from there. And then that way we have something to kind of, you kind of know what I'm going through in regards to, the consent, what I'm allowing, if I allow it. But definitely they're interested in me. They called me yesterday, probably around 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Asked me if I read over everything and if I'm ready to talk to the doctor, just if I have any questions and things like that. So I did read some of it. Haven't read all of it. I'll be finishing it up today, and giving them a call, and kind of going from there. It's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like it's so far. So, anyway, let me get into part two. And we're going to start where it says study drug administration. Okay. It says the study will include up to 12 3-week study treatment cycles for all participants, whether they receive DSP107 alone or in combination with AMOB. All dose administrations, DSP107 and AMOB, will take place at the clinical trial site. Let me see. I will receive DSP107 by intravenous directly into the vein infusion on days 1, 8, and 15 of each cycle. The first dose of DSP107 will be given over 2 hours. If you tolerate this dose well, future doses will be given over 1 hour. The dose you will receive will be 10 milligrams per dose and will be calculated according to your body weight measured at the beginning of each study treatment cycle. If you are participating in the combination study treatment group, you will also receive AMOB by intravenous infusion on day 1 of each study treatment cycle. In other words, once every 3 weeks. Your first dose of AMOB will be given over 1 hour. If you tolerate this dose well, future doses will be given over 30 minutes. DSP107 infusion will take place about 1 hour after the completion of the AMOB infusion. The AMOB dose will be 1,200 milligrams, which is a standard FDA-approved dose given in various cancer indications, for example, for lung or breast cancer. The study treatment will continue as long as your tumor growth is controlled and you are able to tolerate the study drug. If you are still in the study at the end of the 12 study treatment cycles, you may continue to receive DSP107 plus AMOB if applicable, until your tumor gets worse or you experience unacceptable side effects. If you are assigned to receive DSP107 alone and your cancer progress and your cancer progresses, you may have the option of switching over to the combination therapy group with AMOB. Your doctor will discuss this option with you if the situation arises. The following assessment will be done throughout the study at the times indicated. Review of side effects and ongoing medications at every study visit. Brief physical examination including weight measurements per dose or pre-dose on day 1 of every study treatment cycle. You will also have a brief physical exam pre-dose on day 8 and day 15 on the first study treatment cycle. ECOG performance status will be checked pre-dose on day 1 of study treatment cycle and then pre-dose of day 1 of every other study treatment cycle starting from study treatment cycle 3. In other words, by day 1 of cycles 3, 5, 7, etc. Okay. Vital signs will be assessed at the following time points. Pre-dose during DSP107 administration at 15, 30, 45, and 60 minutes, and at 30 minutes after completion of the infusion. Also, at 4 hours post-dose in days 1, 8, and 15 of study treatment cycle 1 and day 15 of study treatment cycle. If you are enrolled into the group of participating receiving DSP107 in combination with AMOB, you will have your vital signs measured before receiving AMOB, during the infusion, if your study doctor considers it necessary, and 30 minutes after completion of the infusion. ECG will be recorded on days 1, 8, and 15 of study treatment cycle and study treatment cycle 1 and day 15 of study treatment cycle 2 at the following time points. Pre-dose of completion of DSP107 infusion and 4 hours post-dose. That's a whole lot of post and pre. It's a lot of stuff going on here. Sheesh. Blood samples for laboratory safety tests will be collected pre-dosed on days 1 and 15 of every study treatment cycle. This will include a thyroid hormone test pre-dose on day 1 of every other study treatment cycle, starting from study treatment cycle 2. In other words, day 1 of cycles 2, 4, 6, etc. Laboratory safety test examples will also be collected pre-dose on day 8 of study cycle treatment 1 and 72 hours after dosing on days 1 and 15 of study treatment cycle 1. This is like a tongue twister for me. A blood sample to test clotting will be collected pre-dose. Additional samples will be collected pre-dose on days 8 and 15. Okay. A blood sample to measure CEA will be collected pre-dose on day 1 of every study treatment cycle. And then they have research blood testing. The following research assessment will be performed during the course of the study at the times indicated. Collection of blood samples to measure the levels of DSP107 in the blood. For the first 14 participants in each of the study treatment groups. Pre-dose halfway through DSP107 infusion and completion of infusion 30 minutes. 1, 2, 4, 8, and 24 hours post-dose. 9 samples before, during, and after DSP107 doses on days 1 and 15 of study treatment cycles 1 and day 15 of study treatment cycles number 2. Additional cycles will be collected pre-dose and on the completion of closing on day 1 of study treatment cycles 4, 8, and 12. For participants enrolled after the 14 participants in each of the study treatments, DSP107 alone or DSP107 in combo, pre-dose and on completion of dosing on days 1 of study treatment cycles 1, 2, 4, and 8. Collection of blood samples to measure levels of antibodies against DSP107, pre-dose on day 1 of every study treatment cycle, pre-dose on day 8 of study treatment cycles 1, collection of blood samples to measure binding of DSP107 to its target, CD47, only the first 14 participants in each of the study treatment groups. Pre-dose is completion of infusion 1 and 4 hours post-dose, 4 samples before, during, and after DSP107 doses on day 1 of study treatment cycle and day 15 of study treatment cycle 2. Collection of blood samples to measure cytokines and complement levels only if you experience a reaction during DSP107 infusions. All at the time of the reaction, 4 and 24 hours post-dose. Collection of blood samples for potential future measurements of biomarkers. Pre-dose and 4 hours post-dose on day 1 of study treatment cycles 1 and 4. Collection of blood samples of measurements and fragments of DNA from the tumor of the bloodstream. Pre-dose on day 15 of study treatment cycles 2 and 4. If you have enrolled into a group of participants receiving DSP107 in combination with AMOB, you will also collect blood samples to measure AMOB levels in the blood. Only if you are one of the first 14 participants receiving DSP107 in combination. Treatment cycles 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me see. Level of the antibodies against AMOB in the blood. Other assessments. You will have CT scans performed during your participation in this study. This will be performed before the end of the study treatment cycles 2 and 4, and then every 2 months after that. The scans will be used to assess your response to the study treatment. If you complete the study and continue DSP107 study treatment beyond 1 year, your study doctor may reduce the frequency of your scans to once every 4 months. You will have your tumor biopsied before the end of the study treatment cycle 2 if it is considered safe to do so, or by your doctor. This will allow us to examine the effect of DSP107 on the immune cells in the tumor. End of study treatment visit, early discontinuation. If your tumor progresses, you cannot tolerate the study drugs, experience bad side effects, decide to stop taking part, or if the study is stopped for any reason, we will arrange an end of study treatment visit. During this visit, the following assessments will be performed. Review of side effects and ongoing medications, full physical exam including weight measurement, ECOG performance status, vital sign measurements, ECG, collection of blood samples for laboratory safety tests, blood count, blood chemistry, clotting tests, and thyroid function to measure level of antibodies against DSP107. If you participated in the group of participants receiving DSP107 in combination with the AMOB, levels in the blood. Let me see. We will also collect sample bloods to measure AMOB levels in the blood, levels of antibodies against AMOB in the blood. You will be followed for up to 90 days after your last dose of study drug. During this follow-up period, we will review your side effects, information about your medication, and ongoing treatment if you test positive for antibodies against DSP107 during study treatments. Additional sampling will be performed once a month during the follow-up of period until the antibody levels return to baseline. So, in summary, you have screening. Number of visits will be one to 3. You'll have 2 tablespoons of blood will be collected within 28 days of the first dose, including CT scans and biopsy. Visit number 1. Well, hold on. Study treatment cycle number 1. We'll have 7 visits. 1, 4, 8, 15, and 18 number of days. Well, on those days, they'll collect 13 tablespoons of blood. Let me see. Study treatment cycle number 2. We'll have the number of visits that will be 4 with cycle 2, and those will be on day 1, 8, and 15, and they will collect 6 tablespoons of blood. Treatment cycle 3 through 12. There's 3 per visit per cycle, and that'll be on days 1, 8, and 15, as they collect 2 to 5 tablespoons of blood. And the end of study treatment will be 1 visit, and they'll collect 1.5 tablespoons of blood. Now they get my responsibility. It's a lot, huh? It's a lot to go over, and once you start reading it, you're like, now I just need to know is there any, really, I think the biggest thing is, just chance, is this just another suppression? That's the first thing I need to know. Because it makes no sense. My responsibilities. Please consider the study time commitments and responsibilities when you are deciding to participate. Your responsibilities as a study participant include the following: informing the study staff of all past and present diseases, allergies, procedures, surgeries, and medications I am taking, including prescription and non-prescription drugs. Informing the study staff of any side effects, medical events, doctor visits, hospitalizations, or medication changes that may have been between visits. Using proper contraceptive methods as instructed. Keeping your study appointments and notifying the study staff before the date of visit if you are unable to keep your study appointment. Informing your primary care physician of your participation in the clinical study. How many people will participate? Part 2, expansion cohort B of this study will take place at about 10 locations in the USA and will involve up to 40 participants. How long will I be in the study? If I agree to take part in this study, my involvement will last until your disease gets worse or you have side effects that are unacceptable and you have completed the follow-up period. You should also be aware that sponsor can stop the study at any time. What are the possible side effects or risks of being in this study? You may have side effects from the drugs or procedures used in this study. Side effects can vary from mild to very serious and may vary from person to person. Everyone taking part in the study will be watched carefully for any side effects. However, Carr Medical, the study doctor, the other doctors do not know all the side effects that could occur. Your study doctor may give you medications to help lessen side effects, and you may need to temporarily or permanently stop taking either DSP-107 or AMOB. Many of the side effects go away soon after you stop what is causing them. In some cases, side effects can be serious and may be long-lasting or may never go away. There also is a rare risk of death. You should talk to your study doctor about any side effects you can have while taking part in the study. DSP-107 is a new drug that is being developed by Carr Medical for the treatment of cancer. DSP-107 is an artificial protein made from two human proteins that are connected together and is designed to use the power of your immune system to fight cancer. DSP-107 has been extensively tested in monkey studies at doses up to 50 milligrams. In this study, you will receive 10 milligrams. In one of the studies, the monkeys experience sometimes severe reactions during their infusions. This happened because the monkeys made antibodies against DSP-107. In other words, the monkey's immune system responded to a substance that was foreign to their body by making antibodies. As DSP-107 is made from human proteins, the risk of similar events occurring in humans is considered low. However, you will be carefully monitored when you receive DSP-107, and we will draw blood samples throughout the study to test if you have formed antibodies against DSP. In part of this study, 42 participants with different types of advanced cancer have received DSP with drugs ranging from 0.01 to 10 milligrams, either alone or together with AMOB. DSP-107 has been generally well tolerated and safe at doses up to and including 10 milligrams, with most side effects considered related to DSP being mild to moderate in severity. The most frequent side effects associated with DSP given alone have been infusion-related reaction, low blood pressure, rapid heart rate, fatigue, diarrhea, nausea, constipation. There have been no serious adverse events or deaths associated with DSP given alone. The most frequent side effect associated with DSP-107 in combination with AMOB have been diarrhea, fatigue, infusion-related reactions, anemia, arthralgia, which is joint pain, myalgias, which is muscle pain, and chest pain. There has been one serious adverse event of inflammation of the liver in participants who received DSP in combo. This is a known side effect of AMOB, but the relationship of this event to DSP cannot be excluded at this point in time. There have been no deaths associated with DSP in combination with a mob. Well, I'm going to leave it there for now. That has been part 2. It's pretty lengthy, I swear. So I might end up having like maybe 2 more parts to this. So this is part 2 of the consent form. It's a lot. It's a lot, yo. So, anyways, I definitely appreciate you guys listening to my rants. Again, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. Subscribe. I am Luis Lopez, the host of Talking Cancer, My Journey, My Way, and also battling stage 4 colorectal cancer. Thanks for tuning in. That's my time. Peace, love,